Hello listeners and welcome back to episode 3 of What's on Earth's podcast series. In this new episode, on behalf of my family and friends in Australia, I would like to tell you about my experience in overcoming the bushfire disaster in 2019 in my hometown. Speaking of which, you probably still don't know who I am. My name is Joey, and I am the cutest animals in the world, or people often call me a koala. My family and I mainly live in the east and south of Australia. So, in addition to the kangaroos, we are also regarded as a symbol of this beautiful country. It can be said that we spend our whole life just sleeping. We can sleep for about 20 hours and spend the other 2 hours just eating. Our favorite food is eucalyptus leaves that have little nutrients and takes a long time to digest. Therefore, going to bed is considered the most effective energy-saving activity. Well, I might introduce myself a bit too much that I forget about the story I mentioned earlier. So without further ado, let the story begin. Nowadays, with the worldwide development of the internet, maybe all of you have heard about the bushfire season in Australia, also called Black Summer, right? The scale of this year's disaster must be said to be unprecedented, when nearly 6 million hectares of land have been devastated, and more than 1 billion species of wildlife have been burned to death. Among them, our species had died more than a third due to our nature of not moving and adapting quickly when the fire started to spread. Most of my friends were burned to black when they were still on the tree. Moreover, acrid and compostable vegetation such as eucalyptus forest and the essential oil in the trunk are also the factors that make the fire spread in a wide range. However, humans also somehow directly cause the fire due to the regular occurrences in short circuit. In hot and dry weather like in Australia, thus, the cigarette butts left behind after smoking can completely catch a fire risk. Climate change and the rising global temperatures are the major causes of the situation, but they are not the only cause. In order to lead to a bushfire with such deadly damage, there must be many other dreadful factors such as drought, strong wind, and the hot and dry weather in Australia, which has taken place very seriously in the years lately. With such a dry environment, many fires have also arisen for lightning. Thursday was such a nightmare. Everywhere was fire, smoke, that I could feel the threat of death. The only thing I knew was to climb up the eucalyptus tree as high as possible to avoid the fire, but it still got closer and closer and burnt me. It bitterly hurt, but what was more painful was to see my family and friends gone away because of that terrible fire. At the moment, I thought I would leave this beautiful earth. There was a fireman who came close to me and brought me to a safe place. The halfway life before made me feel there was no magic in this world, but at the moment, I did feel the magical thing. The fireman gave me water, and that was the first time in my life I knew how fresh and valuable the water was. In fact, we only drink water when we have to deal with severe weather conditions like droughts or bushfires. However, due to global warming, the amount of water in leaves has significantly decreased. As a result, our needs are no longer satisfied. Research has shown that koalas don't eat leaves that contain under 55 to 65% of water. And now we have to accept eating those leaves. And if you ever see a koala asking human for a drink, it is not a surprising thing in Australia. After when I was brought back by a volunteer, I couldn't stop being shocked. I was upset because my friends were still trembling with fear in the storm, and they were still waiting for something magically to save them and bring the fire away. I had to see my green, beautiful home on fire, and 100,000 hectares of land are now just in my memory. 1,000 koalas like me had gone in this disaster, and the once blue sky was tinged with red and full of smoke. Witnessing the tragic images before my eyes, I was startled to realize that the world has not done enough to prevent climate change. People sometimes take the privileges they have enjoyed for decades for granted. As for me, not just you, but all of us, animals and plants on the earth deserve to drink clean water. We deserve to live in harmony with nature, not always in fear that the mother of nature will be able to survive or angry at any time. The environment is where we meet, where people benefit, where we all share things. Every considerable change comes from the small thing, so I hope that each of you will change your thinking about our planet so that we can contribute to making an unexpected change. So let's protect our green home together. Well, that was my experience in the journey through the disaster in Australia. I don't know if you guys can understand what I have to go through. However, I'm sure one thing that our nature is dying. From deliberate actions to accidental actions, like dropping even a cigarette, is enough to cause burn to the earth. To put it in a nutshell, I hope you can understand the conditions of our world nowadays, so you will have the correct awareness for yourself and those around you. Save the earth, save us. Thank you for listening. If you are listening to this podcast during the day, have a great day and live it to the fullest. If you are listening to this at night, I hope you have a good night's sleep. Last but not least, please don't forget to follow our Facebook, Instagram pages and subscribe to our YouTube channel for listening to podcast. See ya!